Hello, welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz. This is episode 135 of What's in My Tumbler. We are starting off with Decal, the South Dakota chalcedony. And just as a note, my voice is going to be a little different this week because I found a workaround to get my voiceovers to work in my editing app. However, that has required me to turn off the voice clarity in Windows. And so I'm not happy 100% with how the audio is sounding. But if you guys are okay with it, I can continue doing this. If you absolutely hate it, I will go back to recording my voiceovers outside and importing it in. You guys let me know if the echo and reverb and all that is too much, and I'll see if I can find something that works. But anyway, back to the rocks. We are doing an inspection on the chalcedony. This is in stage 3, going into final polish, so this will be done next week. And we are just checking to make sure nothing is chipped or broken. This is not a perfect process, I will admit to that, and but it is something that you want to do. Make sure anything isn't sharp going into your final polish, especially so that nothing is getting broken or scratched. So we're going to put in a tablespoon of ivory soap and then put this on the tumbler for a few hours. So I will also remind you that the Obsidian is done this week. That's something to look forward to. So no more Obsidian for a while because it's the last of it that I have in stock until I get more. Who knows when that will be. But I also wanted to ask a question while I'm doing the second rinse on this. I'm thinking about doing the rock tumbling competition next year, and I wanted to also get an opinion, not just on the audio, but if you wanted me to cover my tumbling of that rock like I normally do. It would take up one of my barrels for this. So do you want me to continue to do all 4 barrels, or would you be okay with me not showing what I'll wrap up late competition and then doing kind of a final wrap up later? I would prefer continuing to show it in my regular videos, just because it keeps me doing what I've been doing, and it could be a months-long process. And I don't mind seeing people seeing what I'm doing. But anyway, so that is the chalcedony going into final polish. Now we have the Salmon Feldspar also in stage 3. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So this is in stage 3, also going into final polish this week. So we are going to get it all rinsed off. I did find some opal and other of the filler rocks in here, so I'm kind of taking those out as I find them. Not that there's any issue with it being in here at this point, just something to, since I was taking it out last week, figured I would continue to take it out this week. So you'll see me, any rocks that I'm pulling off to the side, that's what those are. Those are the opal and other filler rocks that I had added in here to take up space, which I don't need to take up space anymore. So we're going to put this all back into the barrel, doing just a quick visual inspection, make sure nothing is chipped or broken. And it's at this stage that I realize I think I've had a piece of this sitting on my desk that probably came in a mixed batch of rocks at some point, that also broke at the last minute. So it's not, I think it broke in final polish. So I have the 2 halves of it that don't 100% fit together because they did get some tumbling in, but they're still kind of rough and not shiny. So that's interesting. And it didn't connect that that's what this was, because it's just one single piece of it that I have, until I did the rinse after this soap cycle. And I found in this rinse a piece that had broken, and it looks just like what I've had on my desk for years at this point, I think. I don't remember the last time I tumbled a mixed batch, so it's been a while. But yeah, there, I pulled it out. It's broken on that end. I didn't find the other half of it, so I don't know where the other half is. It's not really sharp, so I think it might have broken either in stage 2 or 3, and I just never caught it. But it'll be okay. So we're going to do a tablespoon of borax, a tablespoon of final polish, because this is a 1-pound barrel. And then this is going to go on the tumbler for another week. So going back to the competition thing, like I said, I prefer if I do all 4 barrels continuing and you can see how that tumble is going for the competition. I don't mind if people see that. But if you'd prefer to not see what I'm tumbling for the competition, I can leave it out. I'll still film it, but leave it out and do like a final edit afterwards to show how it went. I asking because whatever you guys prefer, that's what I'll do. But it looks like it's Jasper next year, which I know I can tumble Jasper really well. But it'd be interesting to see how how my tumbling compares to much better tumblers out there that are tumbling at a better level than me. But anyway, so this is the Obsidian. This is the final batch of Obsidian that I have. So this is Obsidian again, part 2, the final boss. It is no need to inspect here because it doesn't really matter at this stage. We're just going to do a quick burnish cycle. So we're going to add some water. I also have been chasing down squeaks in my tumblers for the past couple of weeks. And I think I figured out that I oiled everything. I replaced a belt. I tightened belts. I loosened belts. I could not chase down this squeal. And it wasn't really a squeal. It was an occasional squeak that was just driving me nuts. And I think it was because this barrel, I added more media to it last week, and it made it a little bit heavy, and that was causing the tumbler to squeak, because it's not squeaking anymore. Since I took this one off and it's back to a regular rock, it's not squeaking anymore. And I did see somewhere somebody said that if it's overloaded, it can cause your tumblers to squeak. So if you are having that issue where it's squeaking, and no matter where you oil it or what you do, it doesn't stop, maybe it's a little heavy. So for future reference, I will keep that in mind. So we did a burnish cycle. We're going to sort this all out. There's not a lot of pieces in here. There's a lot of little pieces that I didn't bother pulling out at this stage. But there's not a lot of big pieces of obsidian in this batch. So it's mostly the silver sheen that's left, but there are a few pieces of the snowflake. So silver sheen's on the right, snowflake on the left. Probably pretty obvious if you know obsidian at all. So we are going to get it all sorted out. Once I get most of the bigger pieces pulled out, then I will dry. And I think, yeah, so we're going to dry it all off, and then I'll show a couple pieces. So the first piece is silver sheen. This piece did not have a particularly good sheen anywhere on it that I could find. So I pulled up the second piece that I knew had a really good sheen, and you'll see it right about there. There you go. There's that nice silver sheen on that piece. And then that's a piece of the snowflake. So it all turned out really, really nice. These are all completely dry, and they just look really good. I've gotten very good at tumbling obsidian. And some final looks. And then the next thing we are going to look at is the Sardonyx. The Sardonyx is in stage 1, still in stage 1, but it's getting there. A lot of pieces were ready this week. Now the lid was popping off of this barrel, and I'm not sure why. The slurry was really thick, and that's good though because it was doing some work. A lot of pieces were ready to go into stage 2 this week. I was actually being a little bit extra picky with what I threw back into stage 1. So, but you'll find I'll be quiet through most of this, but there was a lot that was ready for stage 2. All right, so now that I have gotten through most of that sorting, what I'm going to do, there was a lot of soap and residue left on those rocks, so I'm actually going to put these in water. I haven't been doing this lately. I haven't found it to be necessary, but I wanted to make sure that those didn't get anything dried on them before I have a chance to wash them. But there's not a lot of rocks that need more time in stage 1, so I'm going to put those in a 1-pound barrel, but it's not quite full enough for me. So I'm also going to add some quartz to fill up some space while these finish tumbling. There's not that many in here. I don't think they'll need more than a week or two. So we're just going to throw those in there, some borax, some stage 1 grit, and these are going to go back on the tumbler for another week. So I now have 2 rocks that are in a 1-pound barrel instead of 3. But that'll be okay. These are not going to stay in this 1-pound barrel. I'll probably put them back in the 3-pound once they are out of all ready to be out of stage 1. I might have to add some more rocks to fill it out. I have a feeling I will, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there and see what I have to add to it. And finally, the new barrel. What am I going to put in here? I didn't really know until it was time, but we're going to put in this Mozambique agate, which I've never tumbled before. It is really pretty. Lots of different colors. Not different colors, but a lot of different shades of colors. So I'm interested to see how this turns out. It's supposed to have some very good banding and water lines and things in it, so we'll see. But this is going to get a tablespoon of borax, 3 tablespoons of stage 1 grit, and it is ready to go. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to let me know how you feel about this audio quality. If you like it, don't like it, I can go back to recording my voiceovers outside if it's too much until they fix whatever the issue is that's not letting me use the voice clarifying features. Also, do you want me to show you me tumbling the competition rocks or not? But thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back next week.